One of my favorite things to forage is Ganoderma lucidum, otherwise known as reishi. Reishi, or lingzi mushroom, is a medicinal mushroom that's been used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years, and it's known as the mushroom of immortality. And it's known for this reason because it has a lot of very powerful health and wellness benefits. And these range from improving the immune system to having anti-cancer abilities. It helps to promote a sense of well-being and has anti-xiolytic and antidepressive effects. So reishi is a very powerful medicinal mushroom. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can identify it in the wild. I'm going to talk more about its health and wellness uses, and I'll show you how you can prepare it into a tea for your own use. Unlike guild mushrooms, of which thousands are known to be dangerous or poisonous, polyphora mushrooms are relatively safe, and there's only a few dangerous species that exist. With that said, care should still be taken with identifying polyphora mushrooms, because even though they're quite distinctive with their pores on the bottom of their fruiting bodies, you want to make sure you have one that is safe for you to use. And reishi is one of those safe polyphora mushrooms that has lots of health and wellness benefits. Reishi can be found growing out of hardwood stumps and logs in deciduous forests throughout the world in temperate and subtropical locations. And this includes North America, Europe, South America, and Asia. Reishi can be found growing anytime it's warm and humid. And this is typically late summer and fall. And because reishi takes a long time to grow and is relatively slow in decaying, it can often even be found during the winter. Reishi is easily cultivatable, which is good because it's not the most common mushroom to stumble upon, though I have it growing on all the old stumps throughout my neighborhood. So let's go walk the neighborhood and find some reishi. So we have a really nice reishi fruiting body here, and this is very distinctive because it has the 3 layers that are commonly seen with the reishi fruiting body, otherwise known as the mushroom. So we have this white outer layer here on the edge, and that blends into the pores on the bottom from which the spores are released. And you'll see this reishi fruiting body is growing out of this old hardwood stump. All these are. This is where the reishi mycelium is, and as it gets to a point in its reproductive stage where it wants to emit spores, it will create this fruiting body from which the spores fly out and hopefully for the reishi inoculate other hardwood stumps or logs. So you have this white outer layer, and then very distinctively you have this yellow or golden or amber tan middle layer, and then on the inside it becomes more of a red orange, a burnished orange, or even a burgundy color towards the very center. So this is a very distinctive reishi fruiting body here, and this is good because reishi often doesn't look like this. It can be, if it's an older reishi fruiting body, it can be much more dark in color and it can be much harder. This one is fairly soft still. So this is a younger reishi fruiting body. And sometimes they will only show just the white layer, or they'll just show just the first 2 layers. It's not until the reishi fruiting body is very developed and mature that you'll get all 3 distinctive layers. So when you're first identifying reishi, make sure you look for those 3 distinctive layers, because that will ensure that you're not identifying some other polyphora mushroom, which could be dangerous if misidentified. So when you're harvesting reishi, you just want to take a pair of snips or a knife and just very gently at the base, just cut through it. And one rule with foraging is you never want to pull more than you will use, and you never want to completely take everything, because there's other people and there's other life that utilizes the reishi mushroom. So just take what you need, and here we'll just take this fruiting body, and luckily the mycelium, the reishi mycelium that's embedded in this hardwood stump will re-sprout a fruiting body no problem once the temperature is right and the humidity is right and it gets some rain. So it's not a problem to harvest in the wild as long as you're respectful and mindful and don't take more than's needed or appropriate. So this is a beautiful reishi fruiting body here. Again, it has its 3 distinctive layers, and it has that wonderful bottom, very bright white. You want to be careful when harvesting reishi or any pauliform, you want to be very delicate, because if you grab the bottom underside and handle it in such a way that you're not respectful, it will bruise these pores and it'll turn brown, and it's best to keep this as perfect as possible. So you want to be very gentle in handling a reishi mushroom. You don't want to grab it by those pores. You want to handle it by the top, or you can see here kind of where it grew through grass and roots and everything. You can grab it in that area too. And you want that underside to be as unblemished and as undamaged as possible. So this is a beautiful specimen right here, and we'll take this back and we'll make some tea with it. Something to be mindful of when foraging for wild reishi is to make sure it's suitable for your use in the first place. So I found these two older reishi fruiting bodies just nearby, and you can tell that they're older because of the dark burgundy color. They're relatively hard, they're dry, and when you flip them around, you'll notice that there are different types of mold already growing on them, which excludes them from use from any sort of herbal preparation or tea, tonic, tincture. So be mindful of the reishi that you're collecting and make sure it looks young, healthy. It has those vibrant bands of white, amber, and burnished orange. And if you have any reishi that doesn't fulfill those qualifications, or maybe has grubs that have burrowed into it, or has any sort of alteration to it that doesn't look good, leave it there. It can still do its job by emitting spores and reproducing, but it's best that you don't consume it for yourself. Reishi has been used for thousands of years for its health benefits and medicinal qualities, and these are derived from the unique compounds that exist in the reishi fruiting body. An organically bound type of germanium is found in reishi mushrooms at a relatively high concentration. Germanium is an element not considered essential, but at low doses it is credited with immunopotentiating, anti-tumor, antioxidant, and anti-mutagenic activities. Over 140 different types of triterpenes have been found and isolated in reishi fruiting bodies. Triterpenes, as the name suggests, are a collection of 3 terpene units, terpenes being unsaturated hydrocarbons which have many different biologic functions throughout the body. Triterpenes have powerful cytotoxic effects on cancer and tumor cells while also being radioprotective. Reishi also contains high levels of polysaccharides, which are used for storing energy, sending cellular messages, and for providing support to cells and tissues throughout the body. There are more medicinal compounds found in reishi than just these, and it's the unique combination of all of them together that makes reishi such a potent wellness-enhancing mushroom. Reishi can be used to treat fatigue and metabolic disorders like insulin resistance, and reishi is an adaptogen for the immune system, reducing its activity when chronically overstimulated and bolstering it when weakened. And in general, reishi increases the amount of active immune cells present. Now that we've learned some health benefits of reishi, let's brew some tea. The first step is you want to let this dry for a few days. You can use it right away if you need to, but it's a little easier to prepare if it's been dried out for a couple days. And I already have some wild